To more news on the environment now. About $2 billion. That's how much the Portmore Climate Change Park in St. Catherine is now expected to cost. The project has been at a standstill almost a decade after it was launched, with critics blasting the municipal corporation for wasting taxpayers' money. Here's Kalisha Williams with that primetime news follow-up.
For some, this piece of land is an eyesore. For others, a health hazard.
The dust, it affects us a lot because for me, I have the asthma and it caused me to be in the hospital for 3 weeks because of the dust.
The 26 acres of land nestled in the Portmore Town Centre in St. Catherine was initially repurposed for two things. 14 acres for a climate change park, a joint venture between the city of Hagen, Germany and the Jamaican government in 2012. And 12 acres for a transportation hub for buses, an initiative of the Transport Ministry. But now, after almost a decade and millions spent, this is what the land looks like.
So we haven't seen any breakdowns. I think the last figure I heard was that there was $14 million that has been spent on the park thus far from the mayor. And the reality is, when I look at that park, I don't see $14 million.
Mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas, says $42 million have been spent so far.
Remember, you have to have consultants and all those people, and the testing of soil and all of that has been done. And the berm that is there, that was built, and a lot of topsoil, including a drip irrigation system, is underground. The layout of the track is still there because we have gone there. The only thing that you are not seeing is the amount of trees that was planted. But a lot of infrastructure work is underground. A well is also there.
Mr. Thomas explained that the project came to a halt because of funding. He said over 400 loads of topsoil is needed to cover the land. He pointed to over 100 trees that died weeks after being planted due to the poor quality of the soil.
When you look at the cost of the 400 load of topsoil versus the cost for the park, right away, we know that this was problem.
A problem because the topsoil alone would have cost the municipality close to $66 million, the same amount initially allocated to fund the entire project. So what is being done now? With plans for the transportation hub abolished, among other things, the Urban Development Corporation has intervened.
The original plan was for the 14 acres. The other 12 acres also have not been developed. So we're going to give it a comprehensive look at the entire, 26 acres. We're going to give a look to the entire 26 acres. What does it need? What can be developed? And what are the previous commitments? Are those things that are going to continue, or are they things that we can then include in a larger plan?
The approach being taken now is similar to what was done to develop the Harmony Beach Park in St. James. And that project cost $1.3 billion.
But we do expect it to not be a cheap undertaking. We're talking between $1.5 and $2 billion possibly. And so that's also a matter of determining that funding. In these times, that funding is not going to be easy to find.
The UDC said it will be engaging residents and other stakeholders in the parish on what they expect from the Climate Change Park as it seeks to find funding overseas. Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.